How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. Please give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Also, please head over to Twitch. Follow me at Douglas447 with a capital D, so you guys don't miss it on streams there that I do from time to time. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the movie Halo Legends. Oh no, Chief took his helmet off, and here's my face. Oh boy, this is gonna be an interesting review. So this came out in 2010, and we're gonna talk about positives and negatives. Bloopers. Anyways, we're gonna talk about positives and negatives, and give you guys my final review score. So first of all, this film dives into Cortana's backstory and life as an AI. It's really faithful. Even though this is animated, it's faithful about the design of Chief, Cortana, and many others. Even though it's not live action, the film shines on its own. The visuals are amazing in this film. We get a lot of insight about the rising threat of the Flood and how the Forerunners ended up fighting the Flood outbreak. This film explains that the Forerunners are the ones that built the Halo rings to kill the Flood, but also every other living organism in the universe. We also learn that Halo was activated and it killed all the Flood and the living things within the universe. But the Forerunners actually kept DNA samples to resurrect Covenant and humankind. Sadly, to complete the resurrection process, all the Forerunners ended up sacrificing themselves so that all the other living organisms could return to life. They used their own DNA and brought us back to life. This film also shows that peacetime is possible in our near future, where humankind would end up traveling into space, but eventually war would break out, and eventually the Covenant arrive in this film, just like in normal Halo lore. And so we get a lot of backstory as to the Halo lore. We get a lot of backstory to the lore that we haven't seen a lot in the video games. So the Covenant end up arriving, and they force all of mankind to fight together against the Covenant army. I love the Arbiter energy sword action in this film. There's a grunt that is in this film, and he screams, "He's a demon!" It was really funny. Really great callback to Halo 2 and Halo 3. I love that all the weapons are OP in this film compared to the video games, like the plasma pistol and the AR in this film. They're just like monsters, but in the video games they're shit, which is kind of funny. Also, it shows a decent amount of the evil side of Dr. Halsey and what she did along with a bunch of other scientists and the Oni did to create the Spartan program. I think this is a great film for you to watch if you've never played the video games. The music choices in this film were also phenomenal. Of course, they're from Halo 1, 2, 3, and Reach, and they did a great job picking which one to use. It was also cool to see the original Arbiter General and the fact that he had a wife, and we actually get to see his wife die. And we also get to see why being called the Arbiter was a mark of shame because of what happens in this film. For negatives, it can be really cool to watch this film, but it can also be boring if you have played all the current Halo games, because this film, for the first 25 minutes, basically relives the major events for the first 3 games. So if you're like me and you're a big Halo fan, when you're watching the first 25 minutes, you're like, yeah, I know everything about the Forerunner backstory. It's Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'm sorry. You know everything about the Halo backstory from Halo 4. You know everything that happens in Halo 1. You know everything that happens in Halo 2. And you know what happens in Halo 3. The first 25 minutes is basically those 4 games, campaign-wise, smashed into 25 minutes. So it can be boring, and you probably will end up wanting to skip it in case you really care to, have a memory refresh. Also, the film is divided and labeled like you're watching a play, not a film. And I actually didn't realize this until I got into like about the first hour that I wasn't watching a film at all. This isn't a film. You might be like, what? Yeah, Halo Legends is not a movie. Halo Legends is a bunch of short films that a bunch of really passionate Halo people made, and they smashed it together. There's an overabundance of slow-mo action scenes that are a little irritating. It actually takes an hour before Master Chief shows up in the film. This film is 2 hours long. I'm still calling it film, even though it's not a film. But it takes over half the runtime before Master Chief shows up. There was one episode in this film. There you go. An episode. There's an episode in this film. There was one episode with this Covenant hybrid monkey, and it felt like I was watching a mash of Power Rangers, Transformers, and Electro from Spider-Man, and Land Before Time, just mashed into one, and it was really unoriginal and boring to watch. I liked I didn't like this. The Iron Man suit program was cool, but it was just, it reminded me of Iron Man from the MCU, and I just like originality gone out the window, in my opinion. We only get to see Master Chief in 2 episodes. We get to see him halfway through for a brief moment, but he doesn't say or do anything in that first one. And then when we get to the final episode, which is like the last 20 minutes of this film, I really liked that episode, but that was like the only episode I actually cared about. I didn't care about the refresh of the first 4 Halo games. I didn't care about all these other like backstories all that much, except for like the Arbiter. The Arbiter one I liked. But I play Halo and I watch Halo for lore's sake, for Cortana and Master Chief, because that's what Bungie set out to do and give the Xbox players to enjoy. And so it might be just me being solely attached to Master Chief and Cortana, but when I think of Halo, that's what I think of. And Sergeant Johnson and a bunch of other people in Arbiter and whatnot. But I only really like the final episode because of the in-game Halo headset footage from Halo 3. Chief is in it. It had the best action in space and on the spaceship, and it had the best dialogue. And it's just sad that all the other episodes in this film just were like added in to try to make this seem like a movie, and I just didn't care. And that's really a shame that I have to say. I was watching this and I didn't care. I had 2 friends of mine and my brother watching this alongside me, and they got to the first hour and they're like, finally Chief shows up? We have another hour? Like, okay, he hasn't even said or done anything? It's other episodes. Ugh. You're going to roll your eyes constantly if you end up watching this film. I bought this film digitally for $4 on the Google store. It's not a bad buy. I guess it's okay to watch from time to time, but it's not something that I can say, definitely go buy, definitely go watch. It's a decent Halo movie. So, last thing I want to add in is that you will feel emotional connection because people do die in this, which is really nice to see. People die. I hate when people make an animated film and they're afraid for people to die in like a glorious fashion. People die in this film and they don't hide the blood and guts. Even though it's animated and it is PG, they do show you stuff, and it was really cool to see. So there is some emotional connection to people, and you're going to care about people in these episodes, in this film, that end up dying, and there is some emotional weight. There was one episode that I almost cried in. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want you guys to watch it, and if you watch it, you guys will know what episode I'm talking about and what character I am talking about. So, with that, guys, I'm going to give Halo Legends from 2010 an 8.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys all have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream.